15 days, taking the Yangtze River cruise from Shanghai to Chongqing. The Yangtze River, as the world's largest hydroelectric river, and the longest river in Asia, has always been sought after and loved by countless Chinese people. Many tourists want to visit the Yangtze River in their lifetime and yearn for it. If you were given the opportunity to visit the Yangtze River, how much money and time would you be willing to spend? Today, the editor will introduce to you the rarest cruise route on the Yangtze River, which not only has the longest travel time but also is expensive. It is the route from Shanghai to Chongqing, with a total of 15 days and 14 nights. Being able to extravagantly allocate 15 days to take a slow boat trip is indeed more suitable for retired individuals like Mr. Wang. Besides the slightly expensive price of over 20,000 yuan per person, Mr. Wang felt that he saw many different landscapes on the way to the Yangtze River by boat, eating local delicacies from all along the way. And the most important thing is that both the facilities and services on the ship are very friendly to the elderly, which is the place he is most satisfied with when traveling with his old mother. The deluxe standard room is the most basic room type on board and also the largest number of rooms on board, with a total of 156 rooms distributed on the 2nd to 5th floors. The room area is 28 square meters, and the ticket price for each person is 19,800 yuan. Executive suites are distributed on the 5th to 6th floors of the ship, with a total of 34 rooms and a ticket price of 28,800 yuan per person. The presidential suite, the most expensive room type on board, is located in the front of the 3rd floor, with only 2 rooms and a ticket price of 68,800 yuan per person. The entire itinerary cost includes a full journey ticket, 14 nights of accommodation on board, catering, designated drinks, tour guide, transfer station services, full journey ashore attractions, port luggage handling, cruise service fees and tips, as well as some onboard facilities, performance activities, etc. This is a one-price, all-inclusive high-end luxury cruise trip, which not only saves time and effort but also provides a one-stop service for eating, drinking, playing, and entertainment. Besides envy, I can't find a better adjective anymore. What kind of person can go out and play for 15 days? I feel like envy, jealousy, and hate, said a netizen on a cruise between Shanghai and Chongqing. Coincidentally, Mr. Wang is such a person. When I was working, I envied retired people very much. Now that I have retired myself, of course, I want to enjoy life well. This year, I not only took my old mother on a Yangtze River cruise, but also drove with friends from Shanghai to Ganzi, Yunnan Dali, and Lijiang in Sichuan. It took me 20,000 kilometers in 40 days, and I just returned to Shanghai. The characteristics of cruise routes from Shanghai to Chongqing. Featuring a 15-day journey through most of China, touring 7 major provinces and cities: Shanghai, Jiangsu, Anhui, Jiangxi, Hunan, Hubei, Chongqing. And boarding from one municipality and disembarking from another municipality. Feature 2, check in and visit the most beautiful canyon in China, the 3 gorges of the Yangtze River: Shilin Gorge, Wu Gorge, Xutong Gorge, experiencing the grandeur, beauty, and steepness of the 3 gorges of the Yangtze River in person. Feature 3, a one-time tour of China's 8 A-level scenic spots: Lexi Lake, Jingdezhen, Lushan Mountain, Huanghe Tower, Yeyang Tower, Hubei Provincial Museum, 3 Gorges Dam, White Emperor City, without turning back. Feature 4, strolling through the 4 major cities in China: Shanghai, Nanjing, Wuhan, Chongqing, and the 9 famous historical and cultural cities. Feature 5, experience China's 2 major ship locks, Gezhouba Ship Lock and 3 Gorges Dam Level 5 Ship Lock. Features 6, taste 3 major Chinese cuisines: Anhui cuisine, Jiangsu cuisine, Sichuan cuisine, and local specialties in the Yangtze River Basin, and taste hundreds of Chinese and foreign cuisines. According to Mr. Wang, his trip to the Yangtze River started from Shanghai and was driven at night. During the day, the boat stopped and landed. Tourists can disembark and participate in the land tourism itinerary that is already included in the shipping fee. The cruise ship stopped at Yangzhou, Nanjing, Qizhou, Jiujiang, Wuhan, Yeyang, Jingzhou, Yichang, Wuxia, Fengdu, Fuling, and other places along the way, and finally arrived in Chongqing. The sightseeing itinerary on the road is similar to regular tourism, such as the Jiuhua Mountain in Qizhou, and the Jingdezhen, or Lushan Mountain in Jiujiang. If you haven't visited the scenic spots and cities along the river on the way, you will definitely feel that they are all very good. Mr. Wang also enjoys seeing different scenery on the Yangtze River than usual. There have been many cruise ships from Yichang to Chongqing along the three gorges of the Yangtze River, but before Shanghai to Yichang, there were very few people traveling by water now. They were all planes, high-speed trains, and self-driving, so the experience of taking a boat is completely different. Every morning, as long as the weather is good, Mr. Wang will take his old mother to the deck for a while. The river breeze is blowing, the air is good, and it's very comfortable. Of course, the biggest highlight of this route, and what Mr. Wang thinks is the best experience, is the Three Gorges. First of all, compared to ordinary short-distance Three Gorges cruise ships, I can see the most complete Three Gorges. Moreover, watching the Three Gorges in the Yangtze River, the stunning scenery, the feeling of integration, and watching from an airplane or shore are completely different concepts. Experiencing a cruise ship crossing the Three Gorges Dam on board also made Mr. Wang very excited. I have been to Yichang before, and have also seen the Three Gorges Dam, but when I looked outside, I didn't see how the 10,000-ton ship in the middle crossed the dam. This time, I finally understood. First, I put the ship into the lock, like an elevator, and then let the water float the ship to the height of the next level. In this way, I lifted it up step by step, and it took 5 times to cross the Three Gorges Dam. Especially when the last level was opened, the river in front of me suddenly opened, and it felt too clear. That's great. The scenery along the Yangtze River from Shanghai to Wuhan cannot be compared to the Three Gorges, but Mr. Wang also found his own pleasure, which is to see various Yangtze River bridges. Along the Yangtze River, there are many Yangtze River bridges, such as the famous Nanjing Yangtze River Bridge, Wuhan Yangtze River Bridge, and many railway bridges. Every province and city that passes through has the Yangtze River Bridge, which is also a unique scenery. For elderly people, besides being fun, the most important thing they value when traveling is eating. Mr. Wang is no exception. When discussing the overall feeling of this slow cruise, he also mentioned this: the most important thing is to eat well. The dining environment and dishes can match this price. I used to hear that eating on a cruise ship relied on robbery. At first, I was worried about it because it was not convenient to take my old mother with me, and I couldn't grab someone else. As a result, Mr. Wang found that his worries were completely unnecessary after boarding the ship. Each level of cabin has its own exclusive restaurant, and everyone's dining seats are also fixed. The food is very rich because it is basically a buffet, and many elderly people even think it is wasteful when they see leftover food. When traveling on land, the food standards in the dining hall outside are also quite high. In short, everyone is very satisfied with the aspect of eating. Mr. Wang also introduced that the daily dishes do not have to worry about repetition and monotony, as they are arranged entirely according to the itinerary of the cruise ship. They are very diligent in this respect. The breakfast in Yangzhou is a dim sum with Huaiyang characteristics, such as soup dumplings. The dinner is Huaiyang cuisine, such as lion's head and dried silk. Anhui cuisine is mainly Anhui cuisine, and Jiangxi and Hubei are also local specialties. Of course, as a cruise ship in Chongqing, Sichuan cuisine is also very good, and I especially like to eat noodles. Although there are a variety of catering options, Mr. Wang said that after all, the majority of tourists on board are elderly, and the overall taste is still relatively light. However, the restaurant has prepared a lot of seasoning, and if you want to have a stronger taste, you can add your own seasoning. During this 15-day cruise, Mr. Wang observed that there were almost no office workers on board, mainly middle-aged and elderly people. Retired like him, traveling with his older parents, there are pairs of elderly couples, and there are also old and young people who come out to play with their grandchildren. Because all the people on this type of cruise ship are elderly people, it feels like the facilities and services on the ship are particularly friendly to us elderly people. Mr. Wang said that there are several elderly people in wheelchairs on the ship, but this does not affect their activities on the ship and their disembarkation for tourism. There are elevators on every floor, and it's okay if your legs are not good. Although there are many steps for getting on and off the ship at the dock along the river, the crew is responsible for lifting wheelchairs. For example, there are 300 steps in Yichang, which is how you lift them up and down. Mr. Wang also mentioned a detail. The crew responsible for cleaning would use a mop to dry all the water on the deck every morning, in order to prevent the elderly from slipping. The handrails on the ship are also very well done, and there are everywhere. When you feel like falling, you can easily touch the place to help, and the design is more user-friendly. What satisfied Mr. Wang was that the cruise ship didn't make much noise when driving. The ships are all driven at night, so if it's noisy, we elderly people can't sleep well. However, when we arrived on the ship, we found that there was no such problem. This ship uses an electric propulsion system, and the noise is relatively low. The arrangement of activities on the ship is also very suitable for the elderly, such as some people practicing Tai Chi with them in the morning. The children's activity room can take care of children, allowing elderly people who bring their grandchildren out to have a period of freedom and cleanliness. Mr. Wang's favorite is cultural lectures. Every time he goes to a different place, he invites the locals to tell him something. For example, in Yangzhou, they invite an old president of the Yangzhou Folklore Association to talk about the history of Yangzhou. This sounds very interesting and has a cultural atmosphere. The lectures not only focus on local customs and traditions, but also doctors who teach about health care, which is quite informative. It is said that China's first domestically produced large cruise ship, the Itinerary, is expected to embark on its first commercial voyage on January 1st next year. Mr. Wang has already expressed his willingness to take his old mother to take a seat again, experience, made in China, and the most modern maritime city. Cruise routes and attractions from Shanghai to Chongqing. Day 1, Shanghai. Boarding/disembarking. Day 2, Shanghai. Zhejiajio/U Garden, 1 out of 2. Day 3, Yangzhou. Slender West Lake and Daming Temple. Day 4, Nanjing. Nyashushan/Zhongshan Mausoleum, 1 out of 2. Damo Ancient Cave. Day 5, Qizhou. Xinghua Village/Jiuhua Mountain, 1 out of 2. Day 6, Zhejiang. Jingdezhen/Lushan, 1 out of 2. Day 7, Wuhan. Huanghe Tower, Hubei Provincial Museum. Special Bianzhong Concert. Day 8, Yeyang. Yeyang Tower and Bianhe Street. Day 9, Jingzhou. Jingzhou Ancient City Wall. Jingzhou Museum/Chongqing Carriage and Horse Formation. 1 out of 2. Day 10, Yichang. Gezhuba Ship Lock, Three Gorges Family, Xiling Gorge. Day 11, Yichang. Three Gorges Dam and Level 5 Ship Lock. Day 12, Fengjia. Wuxia and Xiutang Gorge. White Emperor City/Top of Three Gorges, 2 options. 1. Performance of Returning to the Three Gorges, Shangshui. Day 13, Fengdu. Fengdu Ghost City and Zhaoguanshan Ancient Residence. Performance of the Three Kingdoms of War Underwater. Day 14, Fuling. 816 Town, 816 Project. Day 15, Chongqing. Boarding/disembarking day.